This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
This episode is brought to you by the Toyota Grand Highlander. Life's journey brings constant change, filled with exciting surprises and grand challenges. And with its spaciousness, power, and style, the Toyota Grand Highlander is more than a vehicle. It's your partner in embracing all life throws at you. From the spacious adult-sized third row to seating for up to 8 passengers, the Toyota Grand Highlander is up for every grand challenge. Learn more at toyota.com/Grand Highlander. Toyota, let's go places.
From the Fifth Quarter Studio in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to High School Hoops with your hosts, Steve Collins and Jake Stager.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. I'm so excited you decided to join us. Before we jump in today, I'd like to give a big shout out to our 2 sponsors. First of all, Dr. Dish, the most innovative, technological machine you'll ever find, and it's so easy to use. We have 3 of them. We love them. They're always giving to the community, but they're always innovating on their own products too. So go over and check them out. Mention Coach Unplugged, and they'll give you $400 off for Coach Collins. And also go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. It is the one-stop shop for basketball coaches. It's got everything you need to become a better basketball coach. We always tell our players that we want them to work on their craft. Well, are you working on yours? And that's one of the ways I've worked on my craft. It's something, from someone that's coached a nationally ranked team, that has won numerous state titles, that has done those things. This is what, I spent several years putting this together of things that I could share with the world to make coaches better. And the roadmap will take care of it and will walk you through everything you need. So go over and check it out. And just in closing, if you like this podcast, go over and check out High School Hoops. Go over and check out the 5-Minute Basketball Coaching Podcast. Go over and check out Funnel Down Defense Podcast. All of them are great. And leave a 5-star review. We'd love that. All right. Have a great day.
Hey, everybody. Today, we're going to talk about different ways to make practice better. Super excited about this. If I look around, it's because I'm looking at my notes. But so I'm gonna start with a couple key things. First of all, I think in order to make practice better, you got to really empower your staff. You got to think of it as a well-oiled machine. And your alignment and your clarity with what you want to get done and what the kids need to get done need to be outlined. If we tend to break our staff up into small pieces, giving coaches specific players so they can build that relationship. So I think empowering your assistant coaches, and something that I probably didn't do early in my career, I think is really important. The next thing is when you provide, you have to think about disrupting, how you disrupt the session, and how you grow, and it's, you want the growth as in the players, but you want an explicit focus on things that you're going to do in practice, a clear vocabulary, a clear quote unquote Bible. And if the players have clarity, the coaches will have clarity, and more learning will go on. And that kind of leads into the next thing that I wanted to talk about, the difference between teaching and learning. Teaching is sometimes what I'm doing in my math class when I'm stopping things to explain a concept or a skill. And to be honest with you, coaches probably do too much teaching, and there's not enough learning. The learning is the application of a specific skill. And how does the player learn that specific skill? Is it small-sided games? Is it sending home a scout? Is it watching something on Huddle? So focus on reinforcing specific things. And then I think as a coach, and this is something I'm going to really be working on, is how do you judge success, in practice? How is a success defined? Is it outcome? Is it a specific time? Is it a specific mastery of a skill? I think those are things, when we try to keep things competitive so that we can kind of keep track of that clarity. But I think that's something you really want to look at. You do want, and again, this is something I'm going to really focus on. You really want to build a community of clarity and attentiveness. That when things are being done or they're working on it, and we try to do that by trying to keep practice moving. You can do that both physically and mentally to build a culture of attentiveness. How you want them to interact with you. When you ask questions, you're not asking yes and no questions. You're asking ones in which, how can they be attentive and ready to go. And I call on the players all the time. I have them repeat the drill. So they're being attentive and learning, just like in a classroom. You want them to be focused and not thinking about their geometry quiz and tomorrow or something, even though that's important. And you have to think about practice as both being physically and mentally challenging. And I have found that it's not that you can't do both, and you should do both in them. But the mental part should really be high when the learning is happening, when they're learning a skill, acquiring a new skill. I think that's when you really want to focus on the mental part. And it's hard especially when you're a high school coach. They've been mentally challenged all day, hopefully. And then correcting and critiquing are two different things, just like teaching and learning are. Critiquing is telling what they did wrong, giving them the opportunity to without giving the opportunity to do anything better. Correcting is telling them what they did wrong and giving them a chance to correct it. So critiquing is what you hear coaches, you did this wrong, but they don't have a chance to correct it. You want to do more correcting versus critiquing. As coaches, that's what we want to do. So the best way that I have found to critique my own coaching, actually correct my own coaching. Hopefully I'm not critiquing it, but to correct it is to video myself, to kind of see what I'm doing. Record the audio. How am I interacting with the players? How am I giving them opportunities to interact with their teammates? Inviting other people in. I did this, I call them self-scouts. Give yourself the ability to have a self-scout. Those are so important. But 3 things that you can do tomorrow in your practices is check for understanding. Did they learn it? Is there data to prove that they learned how to drop step or do something like that? That's the first one. Align feedback and teaching points, and then have them have places in practice where they're having to make decisions. Ask them questions like, what could we do differently? Look for input. So, check for understanding, give feedback and teaching, do a lot more correcting than critiquing. And, ask the players, what do you like about practice? What do we need to do more of? What do we need to do less of? If you do those things, your practices are going to be better. They are going to be better lifelong learners, and your teams are going to win more games, to be honest with you. So hopefully this was helpful, and talk soon.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Lowe's knows you take pride in every project. So take on what's next today with a free Select Craftsman hedge trimmer or leaf blower when you buy a 20-volt push mower. That's a $119 value on reliable, high-performance Craftsman tools you trust. For the power to do it all, build, repair, restore, maintain, go with Craftsman. Available at Lowe's. We help, you save. Valid through 5/21 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.